Hello there. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing great. Or if you're not doing great, hope you're dealing okay with it because life's not always great. Life is very seldom great, but doesn't mean you can't make it through and be okay with it. Um, that kind of goes with what I was going to talk about today. There's this kind of delusion, and yes, delusion is the word I just chose carefully, thinking that once you get there, that you never have to worry about it again. Getting there means what? A lot of people think the goal of doing an asana practice is to get enlightened. I'm going to tell you right now that if you're just doing asanas, you will never get you're never going to get enlightened. That's not even the point of asanas. Digging inside um, is what can get you enlightened. I hate to use the word enlightened, but everybody seems to be using it these days. We had a big discussion, a group of my students had a discussion of it over this last week, a few different people. Um, the goal of asanas is to keep your body very healthy, to get the blood flowing, to keep your muscles engaged and strong, but also to learn how to relax, but also to make it easier to sit so that you can go inside if you want to do that. But also, you can use the asana practice as a meditative thing itself, especially in Ashtanga, because it flows. So you know the next thing, you don't have to think about it. You know the breath that goes with it, so you're breathing and you're focusing on the breath and that and the movement. And you can go inside while you're doing that and feel things. So the next thing is, where do you think you're trying to get? And everybody reads, westernized translations of the Yoga Sutras or whatever they read, Bhagavad Gita, these things, and they think, okay, enlightenment. And I do this, enlightenment is the goal. What does enlightenment mean? Because say you get this aha moment and you actually get the feeling and the knowledge inside your being, inside your heart, inside your mind, inside this space between them, that you understand the nature of reality. You get it. It makes sense right now. Whatever that might be. This post right now is not about discussing that, so I'm not getting into that. And you feel that that's the truth that you've been searching for. Now, that truth is going to change. So in a day, in 10 days, in a year, in 10 years, you might have a whole different feeling about it. But right now, you feel like you've felt the truth inside yourself. Is that enlightenment? Maybe. Um, Maybe that's the goal. But I don't think there is an end goal. I think there's always deeper levels of it. So once you get an aha moment and you understand the way things work and what you feel like you're supposed to be doing here on this earth, what we're all doing here on this earth in these bodies, even though we're really energetic beings. Why are we doing it? What's the point? Once you get that level, okay, ooh, sorry. Say this is the level you're on. You're doing asanas, you're feeling great. You used to be down here, and the asanas themselves and the breath work gets you higher, right? So once you have this aha moment, you kind of don't, you get this skip up to the next level. That's your new base. So once you get comfortable there, you can feel there's more. And then you get a little insight and you get a little creep up, you get a little creep up, you get a little creep, you know what I mean? You're always reaching makes it look like you are not satisfied where you are. You're always working where you are to be okay where you are, and once you notice you reached a new level, you're working where you are to be okay there. Keep doing the work, and you get another level of insight. The insights keep going up. I always reference the book, and I read it so long ago I can't quote anything from it, but by Jack Kornfield. First the ecstasy, then the laundry. At least I think that's the name of the book. something like that. So the idea is you understand reality, you understand how things work, you get it. Like in deep in your being, you feel the truth of it. You got it, okay? Does that mean someone's going to come and wipe your ass after you take a dump? No, you still have to do it. Does that mean if you want food, you don't have to get up and go cook it? And once you're done cooking it, you still have to wash the dishes, put the plates away, put the silverware away. You have to do all that stuff. Once you have these knowledges, this awareness become wisdom inside yourself, nobody's all of a sudden going to do your laundry. You still have to do your own laundry. So you still have to realize this is physical, but it's fueled by an energetic source that wants to take you out beyond the boundaries of the flesh, which is great because then you get this energetic feeling and you get to feel energy around you. But then you pull it back inside and you feel it inside you to tell if it's right or wrong for you. You still have to pull that energy back down into the body to function properly. And I mean, by function properly, you still need to know how to feed yourself, how to wash and clean up yourself, how to wash and clean up after yourself in your house or in someone else's house. That was one of the things in India that, not all, but several of these enlightened masters that you hear about, they lost functioning of themselves so much that a lot of people had to take care of them. Like Ramakrishna, who I revere very much, a lot of people were often trying to convince him to eat again because he didn't want to eat again. He wanted to stay in samadhi, but they were trying to convince him to stay here. Maybe he was ready to go and he stayed longer for them, but then he left anyway. Just something to contemplate, because I know people are thinking and wondering and using the word enlightenment lightly or heavily, deeply heavily, not realizing that enlightenment, let's just cut that word out. I got to find a new word. I don't have that word right now, but I have to find a new word for that. Once you get that new level of awareness, unless you want to leave your body behind, you still have to function. Now, some people leave their bodies behind. That's a thing that yogis do in India. When you're done, you feel like you've learned your lessons. You don't need to be here anymore, but your body's still very healthy. You're not going anywhere. Maybe it's not as healthy, but you're still not going anywhere. You can take your consciousness and pull it out and leave. And the body will die. The consciousness moves on. You didn't have to kill the body, because killing the body causes a lot of karma. So in India, they perfected a lot of techniques in the yogic world to leave the body. So it's something to contemplate on, this idea of what enlightenment is. What do we think it is? Why do we think that's what it means? But why do we think that we can leave it behind once we get enlightened? You can't. You can, but you chose to be born here for a reason. And I believe when you get these insights and you feel a different way, and so now you're like my asana practice, I take it in a different way than I used to take it. I used to take it as a physical workout and I would push, push, push. And now I have the willpower to push, but I don't push with my muscles. I push with my spirit, with my mentality. And I don't push too much. I notice and feel, do I have it in me today to push? Okay, I'll push a little bit. Do I not have it today? Okay, I'll leave it. I won't push. It's okay. And then I move on to the next thing. But when you get enlightened, doesn't mean you quit doing the practices either. You keep doing them. Maybe you get, if you have a guru, maybe you get another level of practice. They give you a different mantra, or they give you a different technique, or a different pranayama, or a different something to move you more smoothly into that next stage. That's kind of in Tantra sadhana. It works with, you get a different mantra, you take the next stage of mantras, and you get a next stage of sadhanas to do that does the same thing the last level did, but you're already up higher, so it takes you to the next stage and gets you settled in it, grounded in it, so that it's more possible for you to maintain a connection with this world while you do this stuff. And in Tantra, we're all about staying in the world because we are born in this world for a choice. So if we get to that next level and we have these moments and we're doing them and we're teaching, because people asked me to teach, I started teaching way before I got authorized by Sharad. But one of my teachers encouraged me to teach, who was an old school student of Pattabhi Joyce, because that's how he used to do it. And that's how he did it with her. So she told me to teach, so I started teaching. And once I had those moments, did I quit teaching and go sit in a chair and just fade into nothing? No, I kept teaching, and I would imbibe what I'm teaching, how I'm teaching, with that new knowledge. And so if you stay, once you're enlightened, I'm not saying I'm enlightened, I'm saying I have a level of awareness of a lot of things that is higher than some people. It's lower than other people. It is where it is, and those who can hear me can hear me. Those who can't hear me and vibrating near me can't hear me. So if you like the way I say it, and you're learning from me, from however my approach and my delivery is, I think that's why we stay here once we get to a certain level, because there is another level, but also you help others achieve their first level or their next level. And you even help people at your own vibratory level, vibratory frequency, understand and catch things, because maybe you're at that frequency. It doesn't mean you understand every concept in that frequency that comes up, and maybe they do, so they can kind of say it and you can kind of enjoy learning something from them, they learn from you, and then that makes you maybe bump up another notch. It's just interesting how it works. But we stay to help others have the same realizations, so you're drawing those people around you who have those realizations, based on your frequency. And they will only learn from someone at or near the frequency they're at. So staying after you get enlightened, after you get that level of awareness, is to keep helping yourself, keep moving up, but also to help others, help those around you. That's what it's all about. I go and I lead the way, but I take you with me. I kind of like that idea of that. Okay? So that's all I got to say today. That's long enough. I am going to chill out for the rest of the day before I have to do my evening sadhana, and hope you have a great evening and are enjoying life. See you soon.